Preparedness is the most important thing. Human civilization could collapse suddenly and without warning, be it by nuclear war, super COVID, robotic uprising, an asteroid impact, a solar flare-induced EMP wiping out all technology, Kanye West becoming president, or any other potential future catastrophe you could think of. Readiness is the difference between living and dying. And for me personally, I intend on living. Some may call me paranoid, but they will ultimately be the ones who come begging to be let into my shelter. But there is still time, so listen up, and I will teach you everything you need to know how to survive the apocalypse. This is Crimson Ender Mother Base. This is where we will ride out the apocalyptic fallout. Everything in my room here was meticulously thought out to give me the best chances of survival. I spent several $100,000 lining the walls of my room with lead to keep out the pesky gamma radiation. Did it all myself. And any noticeable cognitive decline is purely coincidental. I don't know what happened there. This right here is the command center. Here we operate on a system called the Continuity of Content Readiness Condition, or COCCON for short. For even after the world has ended and billions have died, it is still important to broadcast my high-quality content to people around the world, whatever is left of it. Maybe this will finally be the chance for me to get my big break on YouTube. Maybe because all the competition is annihilated, but still. Ideally you could see the end of the world coming, but sometimes it comes suddenly, without warning, like the flash of an atomic blast. What do you do then? Maybe if you're lucky you'd get a presidential alert on your phone. But what if you didn't? What if your only warning was the flash of an atomic bomb? What would you do then? You may think this nice sturdy desk right here is just a flat surface to support my desk setup. And on that, you'd be exactly right. But it does have a secondary purpose, protection from nuclear blast. In the 50s, they conducted drills in schools instructing students to duck and cover under their desks in the event of a nuclear attack. See, as long as you duck and cover, you'll be fine. They turned out fine in the end. We're still here.
Days, holidays, vacation time, we must be ready every day, all the time, to do the right thing if the atomic bomb explodes. Duck and cover.
Of course, you're on your own for the million-degree fireball, the deadly radiation, and the 600-mile-per-hour winds. But that's just a small thing. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine as long as you duck and cover. Now, one thing that everybody needs in the apocalypse is food and water. But the thing is, grocery stores probably won't exist in the apocalypse, so it's best to stock up on canned food early. Look at this, we have a veritable cornucopia of sustenance right here. We got pizza sauce right here, always a crowd pleaser. Coconut soup, solid option. Refried beans. I've never even heard of a fried bean, so I don't know how you can refry a bean. And creamy cauliflower soup. Now, I'll be honest with you, if I'm desperate enough to need to eat this, I'll just say I had a good run and given to the inevitable anyway. It's just not worth it. The thing with canned food, though, is that it can very well be infested with botulinum. So always have somebody taste your canned food first. If they develop muscular paralysis and weakness, it's a clear sign that you should stay away. If they don't, that's a green light to chow down on some fine gourmet apocalyptic cuisine. You should also stock up on water. Life can't exist without it, and you're no exception. So stock up and drink up. Irradiated. I can feel the tumors growing already. There will come a point, though, when your food stores run out. And odds are, grocery stores and food banks will have already been looted long before you came along. But will you just sit there and let your vital organs digest themselves to continue your life-sustaining functions? No. Because we are survivors. As the Donner Party once taught us, there is merit in eating your friends and neighbors once things get desperate. And some of you may say, Max, cannibalism is morally repugnant. How can I bring myself to eat another human being? And to that I say, morality doesn't feed your family, food does. And when you are starving, your primal instincts take control, and you don't see your fellow humans as people anymore. You see them as prey. Food. Did you know that there is 77,000 calories of nutrition on a human body? Calories. Meat. Sustenance. Food. Before things get real bad, though, it's important to understand which parts of the human body are edible. The back and the tenderloin are perfect for making steaks. All of that is soft, non-working muscle and is quite tender and easy to eat. The ribs are perfect for barbecue. Put some barbecue sauce on that, Memphis-style dry rub maybe, and you'll be eating good for days. The legs are working muscles, a bit tough, but they're perfect for slow cooking into stews. Delicious. That being said, stay away from the brain and the liver. The brain's too fat and the liver is too much vitamin A. Stay away from those. Those will only hasten your death. You hear that? Someone's coming. Lunch. That was delicious, but it's important to recognize when it comes to edibility, some people are better to eat than others. So what do you do with all the people who are good for food? Rule them. You need to build your neighbor's trust so that when you waltz in after the dust has settled and declare yourself dictator, they will like you too much to resist your autocratic reign. This is a step you need to start taking right now, though. This isn't really something you can do after the fact. Alternatively, you could just raid the gun store and consolidate your rule by force. People aren't really that keen to stand up against the guy with guns. Humans have an inherent desire for self-preservation, so it's important that you exploit that for your own gain. You'll be on top in no time. In the apocalypse, hospitals won't be reliable. They could be overwhelmed with super COVID patients. They could be without any sort of electricity in the event of an EMP caused by a nuclear bomb or solar flare. They could be entirely non-existent, destroyed in a catastrophic earthquake or tsunami. You have to be prepared for any eventuality. You'll have to be reliant on your own wit and first aid skills in order to survive. At any time, you or somebody you love could be stricken with appendicitis. If that happens, you only have 2 to 3 days to get it removed before it bursts and the abscess kills you. Appendicitis has no mercy, and for that reason you should learn how to perform a self-appendectomy. Allow me to demonstrate. First, you gotta take a marker and draw a line where you gotta cut. Then you'll need a sharp object, ideally a scalpel or a foot knife, but in all likelihood, this isn't going to be an ideal situation, so right now an ordinary steak knife will have to do. Listen, if it's good enough for prime rib, it's good enough for me. Alright, so what we're gonna do is take the knife, you cut an incision into the stomach. You gotta go deep in there. Don't be scared of a little blood. It's just part of the process. Then you'll be able to cut your infected appendix and remove it, just like that. See? That wasn't so hard, was it? Now the time has come to close the wound. Because I'm assuming you're just an average Joe performing an appendectomy on yourself in your room, you probably won't have any normal medical grade sutures lying around. So it's in times like these when you have to resort to the old reliable duct tape. We've been using duct tape for decades to make quick repairs. Even the Apollo 17 astronauts used it on the moon. So it's gotta work on that open appendectomy when you got there. Just stick it on there, like so. And voila! You've done it. You've successfully learned how to perform an invasive emergency surgery on yourself. Good job. Now, if you excuse me, I'm feeling a little woozy, so
There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked